The ANC's National Executive Committee's Economic Transformation Subcommittee will hold a press briefing at the Birchwood Hotel in Ekurhuleni. This is to give an update on matters under discussion such as electricity and load shedding, the rising cost of living and transformation, as well as equity. SABC News reporter Samkele Maseko is covering this particular NEC meeting that is taking place in Boksburg. Samkele, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. So the EFF also coming up on discussion. What was said about the EFF, also considering that the DA has this moonshot pact where they say keep the EFF and the ANC out?
What we do know at this point in time, Aldrin, is that Thabiso Plaatjie, the acting regional chairperson of the ANC in Ekurhuleni, wrote a letter to the ANC Secretary General and Provincial Secretary Thabiso, who are part of this NEC meeting, complaining about the working relationship of the ANC and the economic freedom fighters in Ekurhuleni, saying that there is no strategic objective to that particular working relationship. Thabiso goes further to say that the relationship between the EFF and the ANC, the EFF continuously says that they are not in a coalition with the African National Congress, and it goes further that there is no synergy when it comes to the issues of local government and how the government in Ekurhuleni works, saying that the major key portfolios in the municipality are within the hands of the economic freedom fighters, which in essence the ANC under TK Ngqiza and Panyaza Lesufi are surrendering the base of the African National Congress to the economic freedom fighters. The ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula has said that he has tasked the province to deal with this particular matter raised by Thabiso Plaatjie, and that he will also join the PEC when they engage Ekurhuleni next week. I am going to move across now, as you can see there, Aldrin, in the visuals we are showing you of Panyaza Lesufi and TK Ngqiza coming together. They are in fact unveiling those 5 campaign vehicles that you can see there in the backdrop that my colleague Thabiso Plaatjie is showing you. They will be unveiling those particular 5 vehicles that they have purchased under their tenure as the leaders of the ANC in Gauteng to the National Executive Committee of the African National Congress. They are saying they will be no longer reliant on Mpumalanga in order to get those particular campaign vehicles. They are now moving away. You know them, they try to act, but we will definitely try and doorstop them, Aldrin.
Yeah, and this issue around the relationship between the EFF as well as the ANC has been an ongoing one, and we also know the fallout that it has led to, specifically in Ekurhuleni.
Indeed, that particular relationship is very contentious when it comes to these issues pertaining to local government. As you can see that they are rearing themselves up for the 2024 battle in Gauteng, where many people are predicting that the province will ultimately be hung. They are saying they are now eager, they are now raring to go for the 2024 elections. Mr. Lesufi, what are these vehicles here for?
It's a declaration of war.
Declaration of war for what?
That this province is not going to just live.
But you are under siege in this province. You've lost all the municipalities. How will purchasing 5 vehicles assist you?
Well, it's the beginning of a fight, not only a fight back, but to get whatever that belongs to us. You can see from by-elections, and you can see from the political work that we are doing in government that a relationship between the ANC and our people has been established. So this thing is just to strengthen that relationship.
When you look at the issues of governance, particularly in your region, the both of you, where you come from, where you are at currently, your acting regional chairperson has raised some issues pertaining to your relationship with the economic freedom fighters, saying that you are basically surrendering the base of the African National Congress to the economic freedom fighters.
And I think you should continue to add that the SG has indicated that the matter has been forwarded to the Provincial Secretary for processing, and I will do that. What we can confirm that any decisions that we have taken as the African National Congress, we have consulted our national leadership, we have consulted our provincial leadership, we have consulted our regional leadership, and all of us collectively agreed on the path that we have taken. So there's no single institutional structure that has spoken against the decisions that we have taken, including our national leadership. You are quite aware that there's a coalition document that was presented, and that coalition document has been followed to the latter by Gauteng. So any person that will complain outside that particular coalition document that has been presented and adopted by the NEC, I think the SG has indicated that the provincial secretary should process that matter.
When you look at the issues of governance as a whole throughout the course, the entire province, you are rolling out 6,000 residents of Gauteng to close potholes. When it comes to early childhood development, is this part of the strategy that you are saying that let's employ people, but also indirectly campaigning for the African National Congress that you can effectively govern and roll out those much needed jobs to curb unemployment within the country and within the province?
We are still going to campaign. We have not started campaigning. What we're doing in government is a responsibility of any caring government to do. Create opportunities for our people. We've done that. Defend our people. We've released security forces to ensure that our people are protected. Deal with the issue of illegal mining. We've argued our case here to ensure that we've got additional law enforcement that can be deployed there in Gauteng. Ensure our clinics functions. Ensure that within government there's no corruption in terms of senior officials going through lifestyle audits of that. So we're still dealing with government work. Those that are accusing us of campaigning, they'll run out of ideas because we haven't even started campaigning. So by the time we start to campaign, I'm not sure the excuse will be what.
On the issues pertaining to illegal mining within the province, what are some of the arguments you presented in the National Executive Committee? Because I know the Minister of Police, Begicele, and the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy, Gwede Mantashe, who hails from this particular part of Gauteng as well, is very passionate in eradicating illegal mining within the country.
Where we are now, we are under the auspices of the National Executive Committee of the ANC. We will debate, discuss there, and the leadership of the National Executive Committee will give you a briefing on the resolution the ANC has taken. It's not a Gauteng matter, it's an ANC matter, so the leadership will provide that guidance after the deliberation, discussion, and the NEC.
Mr. Ngiza, where do these vehicles come from? Who purchased? Who is the Samaritan that donated to you, if they were donated?
No, it's the African National Congress and its members. We're working very hard in preparing ourselves for the elections. There are a number of things and initiatives we're working on, including what is happening in government. It's the ANC that went to the Lekgotla. It identified 4 key areas. One, which was the issue of energy, which today you can agree with me that load shedding is indeed being worked on very hard by the government of the ANC. 2 was unemployment of young people. We are working very hard in making sure that we create an opportunity. You know, those who are saying that the Premier of Gauteng is actually a populist, they are missing the point. We're opening up, we're saying we're transparent. Government of Gauteng is transparent. Every young person must find an opportunity and must see themselves finding a job. If it's not you, it must be your neighbor. Of course, it's not only government that can employ people. Service delivery is a key factor. That is why for us, coalitions are not just a joke. And we take exception when people don't understand that the ANC was never formed for only ANC members. It was formed to make sure that we better the lives of our people. So when we deal with issues of coalition, we must be sensitive. We must understand that the ANC does not have 50+1. And how do we make sure that we take services to our people? For instance, what you saw in Tshwane, Amanskral, 11 years of that problem. The past 7 years, the ANC has not been there. Government in Amanskral, which is the local government, not wanting to cooperate with national government because they undermine the authority of the national government. Same as what you would have seen with hospitals that we could not plug in because in Johannesburg, and many other issues, schools, because they did not want to put a bulk infrastructure undermining the government of the ANC, which is national government. So this is not just about Ekurhuleni and EFF. And if there are issues in Ekurhuleni, we'll go and listen to them. It's our responsibility. But comrades must learn to work how they organize collectively. The organization works in a particular way, and we must all respect that. And if there are issues in Ekurhuleni, we are willing to listen, and we are willing to make sure that we better the conditions of our comrades there, outside of trying to say this thing does not work and so forth. But we are going to go to Ekurhuleni next week and deal with those issues. Yeah.
I'm going to ask a pointed question to the both of you. These jobs that you are rolling out, temporary jobs, do you have the fiscal capabilities for them to be permanent jobs?
They're not temporary. They're permanent jobs. They are funded vacant posts. Basically means they are vacant but funded by government. And if they are funded, it means they're within the fiscus. So any person that says these are temporary jobs that are not funded and we want to have a bloated government, they are missing the point. These are funded posts, which simply means that they're within the terrain of government and they are at the forefront of enhancing service delivery, and we are releasing those particular posts. So they are funded and they are not temporary, they are permanent. Yes, there are others that might be temporary, but the majority of the posts that we've released on the 16th of June, majority, if not all of them, are permanent jobs.
My last question, so you'll no longer be making a call to Barberton to ask for vehicles?
We will. We will. We will.
Who's in Barberton?
That is Pajaza Lisufi and TK Ngqiza basically speaking on that they are now rearing themselves for the 2024 general election in Gauteng. They're dealing with some of the issues of service delivery and unemployment within the province.